flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to...
The world would be a better place if it were cared for.
You make me blush. I am simply a
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by...
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first...
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal...
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from the academy. If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count on you. I wish I could say the same for the others.
You look at me, Lord. You're pushing yourself too hard. You don't have to bear the burdens of this hospital alone.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fellow. Another night of the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Lost it! Fuck, he's fast!
Sorry, sir. No admitters. See them fancy clothes? This one's tough. Die, vermin!
ตัวเล็กนี่น่ารำคาญเดี๋ยวมึงเฮียตัวเล็กแม่งไม่ตลกละซัด
Opium is one of the main ingredients of Strickland's medication. Never a good move.
Did you hear me? Stay away! Bloody leech!
In this letter, Mortimer Goswick does nothing to hide his desire to die. I could give it to his mother, but doing so would betray his trust. It's locked, all right.
ทำไมมันเปิดไม่ติดเหรอไม่คนเดียวไงคุยกับใครยังไม่ได้พูดอะไรเลยไม่มันเย็นเฉย
Go back home, idiot! Get your weapons ready! We found one! Bloody leech!
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr.
I'm okay.
Have you heard rumors about blackmail in this hospital?
No.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you...
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable...
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful.
Despair is a deadly poison I've tasted myself, sir. We're only tempted to drink it because we're terrified by the uncertainty of the next minute.
I know that perfectly, Doctor. For I waited for so long, hoping...
I have to...
Good evening, sir.
Heart.
Doctor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Have you heard...
Dr. Reed, are you trying to take advantage of me? Well, go be curious somewhere else, please.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivation.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die.
Why did your son...
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk...
I have read your son's suicide note. It was not an impulsive gesture.
He threatened to kill himself a few times before. But I never thought...
Punish you? Why?
I've known for a long time he was not happy with his life. But I always hoped he cared enough to avoid making me suffer like this.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own, he is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Miss...
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Have you heard talk of any
No?
Goodbye for now, Miss...
You always knew the words to come. Harm the children, Ellen.
As for me, what a blundering idiot. We have some of the most brilliant minds in London, Pembroke.
Good evening.
And good evening.
Have you heard...
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern...
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me...
With the influenza and all that's going on.
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover...
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by...
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young...
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read...
You have my support, Dr. Strickland.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't...
Goodbye, Doc. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
ทำอะไรวะทำไมใจทำอะไรฮะ
Dr. Reed.
Have you heard rumors about...
I don't have time to listen to all the idle gossip.
Do you know if any of the hospitals...
Doctor, you've hardly been here and you're already questioning the...
What can you tell...
Everyday folk don't know how bad...
News on the front.
It seemed to be for a while.
What can you tell me about...
This hospital was...
Can you be more...
Well...
Well, doctors...
Not in an official...
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the mud...
How is the duty rock?
Everybody works until...
For how long?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke...
And before...
If you must know...
I'll see you...
Never could keep anything from her.
I'm quite...
Have you heard of...
Black.
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
Have you heard about...
Blackmail? Nonsense.
Thank you.
Daily routine.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Hello? Goodbye, mister.
Someone's poached my blanket.
It's here again.
Good evening. Have you heard
If you want to know what's going on,
why do you feel
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells.
Why lie?
Come on. It's one thing to come back.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Why?
I don't want to...
Tell me,
I went with a whore in Rouen.
did you start the fire?
No. It's just that I was asleep.
Goodbye.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. A daily routine.
ใช่ดี
The flower's dying. It needs water. Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Ackroyd. Good evening. And I have no. A placebo is a substance or procedure.
You made a placebo of my project.
Research has established that a placebo...
Really? That's fascinating.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit surprised, but I trust you, Doc.
Did you know Dr. Ackroyd?
Really? I didn't suspect.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize...
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
Have you heard your... Goodbye.
I'm quite...
Thank you for your... It's locked. At least Strickland can't kill anyone with this formula. It's locked, all right. It's locked.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
Good evening.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Your mother won't let you down, Mortimer.
No.
Won't you even try?
Do you want me to promise you I'll get better?
Your medical report says you're not affected by the Spanish flu. What do you think of that, Mortimer?
Does it make me happy? Not in the slightest.
And why do you think you don't belong here?
I know the staff have more important things to do than look after me. There's plenty of patients here who need their attention.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening.
I've read your son's medical report, Beatrice.
He was at death's door when he was brought here. I just want him to be better as soon as...
He's not out of the woods yet, you know.
Take care of him then, Dr. Reed. People here only seem to focus on contagious...
Goodbye, Mrs. Go...
Always knew the words to calm. As for me,
Goodbye for now.
always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me,
I'm...
Thank you.
my sweet girl.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Please, sir. I need...
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pem...
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir.
How long have you been searching?
I can't go there.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived... What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend.
This is a danger.
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital.
What can you tell me?
His name is Oswald Thatcher.
Where was your...
He went down by the canal.
I have all...
Thank you, Doc.
It's locked. It's locked, all right. Good evening.
Good.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the...
If it wasn't for him,
Dr. Tippett does not think it...
if you're suggesting he's not taking my...
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did.
If I had not covered up his error...
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you
To clear Dr. Tippett's name must be the decision...
I respect Dr. Swans's authority and management.
According to the report I read, your unprofessional conduct put a patient in danger, Gwyneth.
That's not true. I know when my patient's life is at risk, and I'm more competent than a lot of doctors that I know. Problem is, I'm a woman.
I don't see what your gender has to do with your abilities, nurse.
Yes, nurse. Because I'll never be a doctor, no matter what my skills. I could make a decision that could save a life, but oh no, that's unbecoming conduct.
You're mistaken, Nurse Brannigan. To be forbidden to enter medical school because of your gender is one thing. To break hospital rules is another.
To have the right to study shouldn't be determined by sex, skin, or wealth. That's all I'm saying.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett's is a brilliant...
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk.
Dr. Tippett's must regain his confidence.
Have you heard rumors of anything...
No, Doctor.
Goodbye now. Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
I have some...
What?
I retrieved your wallet.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawk.
Not at all, Milton.
Good.
Have you heard...
There are a
What kind of secret?
I'm not in the gossip business.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see this city is crumbling down? Today...
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all the...
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other.
You do realize you could both get
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong.
I'd like to...
Wise choice, Dr. Reed.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time? That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Đó.
See them? No! Look at it! Gone up like kindling! bloody Christ!
The life running in your veins. This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are...
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant.
Have you heard of...
I have no
Tell me, Thelma.
I saw one and he saw me. I watched.
You mean you actually saw a vampire?
Yes, and it has been the odd.
You have no idea what...
Why fear the truth?
Tell me, Thelma.
I'm.
Do you plan to...
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody?
Would you say you and...
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul.
I have made inquiries...
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage.
It was a misunderstanding. These...
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have...
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal...
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition. I'll leave you.
The pain. Here again.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
The daily routine.
What? What? What is this?
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say?
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to...
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know...
Harriet Jones. Indeed. I've been meaning to...
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor.
I heard that...
Blackmail? Wait. You're...
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to...
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it...
You seem to know more about the
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little...
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible...
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not...
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses...
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. Miss Now...
Well...
Have you no...
It would be a great deal easier...
Come now, Miss...
Have you no eyes?
Everyone here...
Thieves and murderers, the lot.
If you could just...
It's terrible, Doctor. What would...
I see.
No one comes to visit you.
I'll come and visit you... The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
The daily routine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Pepper,
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins.
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pepper.
Yes, I am. No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life.
Why do you...
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are all...
In your position, I would suggest a more elaborate
This isn't cynicism. It's realism.
Whose idea?
What difference does it make? We did it together.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first. Even though Milton...
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of...
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jo...
No matter how you feel about her,
Who says I don't care for her? Hey,
she could have been...
that old witch will end up in hell soon enough.
What can...
Let...
Goodbye. Good evening. I'll leave.
Time has lost its effect on me, but the suffering continues.
Good evening. Have you... Nurse Brannigan has been recently accused of...
This kind of protest is nothing.
Do you really think she...
Believe me, Dr. Reed, a time...
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran.
I need it to endure the long shifts.
For God's sake, what are you thinking?
How can... Irresponsible? I am devoted to my work.
Goodbye, Doc. Good evening.
Good.
Do you know if any...
The people who...
Tell me, nurse.
I suspected this behavior for some time.
Why would he confess to you?
Don't you know you doctors can't hide...
Do you consider yourselves our
I wouldn't dare, Dr. Reed.
What can I say? I seem to have...
And for hiding them as...
Do you...
Of course I don't approve. But I understand he...
And what if he does?
Then we'll have to convince him to...
Have you seen a
I've never heard of such...
Goodbye now. Good evening. Goodbye, Milton.
Is Alex my...
ไม่เป็นอะไร
Good
Goodbye, Miss.
Nice, sweet girl. Reads me like a book. So
Good
good.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
ไม่เป็นไรแต่
Good evening and good. Goodbye. Good. Tell me the truth about your appointment as a medic during
The regiment administration.
Do you?
Yes, sir. I swear I did, sir. But no one.
It is an
It was a time.
You can't impersonate a doctor. You can't improvise.
You're absolutely right, sir.
Do you believe?
My rate.
Have
Hardened.
Please.
Of course.
Good and goodbye, Doc. It's locked.
Do you need?
I have met.
She's a.
Is she the true reason you recruited me?
Lady Ashbury is a cherished friend of mine. I would not.
The matter of.
Oh, I know too much about this matter already.
I have.
Then I.
We'll see.
Another night.
We've dodged death so many times. You can't just die like this.
Have you found?
Not.
All
ตอ
right.
นไม่ออกละ
What can you tell me? I have all.
Thank you.
เลยตอนไม่ออกอะ
You're
ถ้ามันออก
sure you don't come back with
ไม่
me?
น่าเลยเขาหาซื้อเซรั่ม
I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck them. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
เพราะว่าไม่ออกพวกนี้แล้วกัน จ็บ ไม่ได้ตั้งใจนะ
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him. This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
See the sky, feel the fresh air.
Are you injured, sir? I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad...
Okay.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend...
Yes.
Good.
เขาตัดออกมาดิทำไมหนูไม่อ่านการ์ตูนทำไม
I have this thirst for blood. What sort of creature is this? Here's what's left. Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
ฮะ เร็วเนาะ
Good evening. Goodbye, Doc.พลเมืองที่ใกล้สูญพันธุ์ The flower's dying. It needs water.
do you need?
Will...
Here again.
Put on these nurses. Bred with no respect.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
That was fun.
I'm afraid the trail of breadcrumbs leads...
Is that so?
Now it's time for you to be patient.
Machination?
I hadn't considered that eventuality.
Do be careful, my good doctor. When immortals are involved, the stakes tend to escalate quickly.
I'll return with case solved or carried on my shield.
Ah, ไอ้เหี้ยเกมหลุด